Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS, FANS. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what we're about to discuss is a game changer, not just for the Falcons, but for the entire NFC South. Rumors are swirling around a potential blockbuster trade that could reshape the landscape of the division, and it involves none other than Quinnen Williams, the interior disruptor from the New York Jets. This is not just gossip. It's rooted in some solid sources pointing to a trade that could happen very soon, and believe me, the implications are huge. So, let's break it down for you, starting with the background. Quinnen Williams has been a force for the Jets, especially in the 2023-24 season, where he's proven himself as one of the most disruptive interior linemen in the league. I mean, we're talking about a guy who can blow up running plays, collapse the pocket, and generate pressure from the middle of the line like few others can. He's an all-pro and his stats speak volumes. 2025, he's already amassed 32 pressures, 4 sacks in just 8 games, a PFF grade of 85.4, and a win rate on double teams of around 50%. That's elite production. In Week 2 against the Bills alone, he recorded 2 tackles for loss, showcasing his ability to disrupt at will. Over his career, Williams has accumulated over 400 pressures, 45 sacks, and 220 tackles, making him a true game wrecker. Now, what makes this trade so interesting, especially for the Falcons? Well, the Jets are in full rebuild mode, folks. They're 0-8 right now, and it's clear that they're prioritizing their offensive line. After all, allowing 2 yards per carry is not going to cut it in today's NFL. They're also looking to free up cap space, especially with extensions looming for players like Sauce Gardner. Williams, with his $22 million cap hit, is a prime candidate to be moved, especially if they're eyeing future assets to rebuild their roster. The Jets need draft picks, and trading Williams for a second-round pick in 2026 and a third-rounder in 2027 makes strategic sense for them. They get future assets, cap relief, and the chance to focus on their OL. For the Falcons, it's a different story. Adding a player of Williams' caliber to their interior defensive line could be a huge boost. Right now, the Falcons' defense is solid but not quite disruptive enough, ranking around 19th in pressures. With Williams, who is comparable in disruption to a player like Grady Jarrett, the Falcons could elevate their front four significantly. His presence would immediately upgrade their run defense, which currently allows around 2 yards per carry, and would increase their pass rush, potentially adding around 17% more EPA per rush. That's a game changer. Imagine Williams lining up alongside Onyemata. His presence would elevate the entire front, making it much harder for opponents to run effectively and giving the secondary more breathing room. And speaking of secondary, the Falcons have been dealing with injuries and inconsistencies, especially in the back end. But a dominant interior rush can help alleviate some pressure on the secondary, especially with the likes of Bates in the backfield. It's also worth noting that this move could serve as a strategic counter to division rivals like the Bucs, who have been aggressive in bolstering their roster in recent years. The Falcons' front four with Williams could become one of the league's most formidable units, capable of generating consistent pressure and forcing turnovers. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. The Falcons are currently at a 3-3 record, sitting right in the middle of the NFC South standings. Adding Williams could push them into a different stratosphere, especially if they can get him integrated quickly. It's a calculated move, investing in a player who not only elevates the team's immediate prospects, but also sets the stage for a sustained competitive window. His ability to generate pressure and disrupt plays aligns perfectly with the Falcons' defensive philosophy: aggressive, disruptive, and relentless. And if you look at recent history, trades like this, similar to the Buckner trade in 2024 when the Colts sent him to the Falcons, show how a single disruptive player can shift the entire dynamic of a defensive front, leading to more turnovers, more sacks, and ultimately more wins. Now, you might be wondering about how this impacts the Falcons' Super Bowl ambitions. Well, adding Williams could be the final piece that pushes the team into serious contention. The Falcons have a talented roster with players like Onyemata anchoring the line, but they've lacked that true game wrecker in the middle. Williams could be that X factor, the guy who stuffs runs, pressures quarterbacks, and creates chaos, just like the great defensive tackles of the 70s who changed the league. With Williams, the Falcons' defense could become a top 10 unit, significantly boosting their chances in the playoffs. He's a player who can elevate the entire team, forcing opponents into uncomfortable situations and creating opportunities for turnovers. And in the playoffs, those kinds of disruptions are often what make the difference between a deep run and an early exit. Now, let's not forget the strategic aspect for the Jets. They're in a tough spot. They need draft capital, cap space, and to rebuild their roster around young talent. Trading Williams makes sense for them if they're looking to tank for a higher draft pick or to rebuild with a fresh core of young players. But for the Falcons, it's a different story. They're in a position to capitalize on this opportunity, especially with the defense already showing signs of improvement. The addition of a player like Williams could be the spark that takes their defense from average to elite. And it's not just about this season. The Falcons' window of contention could be extended with a move like this, especially if Williams continues to perform at his current level. If he maintains his health and production, he could be a cornerstone for years to come, similar to how some of the best interior linemen in NFL history have been transformative for their teams. Now, I want to highlight one more thing: the impact on the division. The NFC South has been a bit of a revolving door lately, with teams like the Bucs making moves but faltering, and the Panthers still building, trying to find their identity. The Falcons, with a move like acquiring Williams, could become the team to beat, especially if they manage to tighten up their run defense and generate more pressure. This would not only boost their chances for a playoff spot, but also position them as a serious contender in the NFC landscape. Imagine a defense with Williams disrupting from the inside, Onyemata holding the edge, and the secondary flying around. It's a recipe for success. And it could finally give the Falcons the edge they need to break through and make a real push in the postseason, possibly even securing their first Super Bowl appearance in decades. Wrapping all of this up, it's clear that the potential trade for Quinnen Williams is more than just a move. It's a statement. It signals that the Falcons are serious about competing at the highest level, about taking the next step towards a championship. It's a strategic, bold move that could reshape their future and alter the balance of power in the NFC South. So, Falcons fans, keep your eyes on this story because it's developing quickly and could very well define the franchise's future for years to come. The idea of adding a player of Williams' caliber, combined with the team's current trajectory, makes this a truly exciting time to be a Falcons supporter. And remember, if this trade goes through, it's not just about improving the roster. It's about making a statement that the Falcons are here to contend, to challenge, and to fight for that Super Bowl ring once again. We're witnessing a pivotal moment in Atlanta Falcons history, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over and the best is yet to come. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Atlanta Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news.